All right, let's talk Dallas Cowboys. Of course, training camp is almost here. Football, or at least the closest thing to football in a long time, is finally back. It's an exciting time. Obviously, new era for the Cowboys with head coach Brian Schottenheimer. We've seen a lot of great moves for Dallas, but lost in the hustle and bustle of the additions and some subtractions and overall culture shift with the Cowboys. We've got a kind of forgotten young playmaker that looks poised to break out when you listen to some recent reporting, along with some data, which we'll get to in just 1 second. But first, I'm Nick. That is Andrew, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, the Dallas Cowboys are frankly the Dallas Cowboys when it comes to everyone looking at the stars and the big names. Of course, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb leading the charge on the offensive side of the ball. Everyone talking about Micah Parsons, of course, and what his contract situation will be and who the Cowboys can pair and surround Parsons with. Obviously, they re-signed Oso Odigizua to be a running mate on the interior defensive line. They made a lot of moves, bringing some veterans, some draft picks to surround Micah Parsons with some great pass rushers, some additions, some returning faces, of course, in the example of Dante Fowler. But one forgotten man in this entire equation is defensive end edge defender Sam Williams. He was coming into 2024 last year, poised to break out before he had that unfortunate injury. And now we've got some reporting highlighting that he is prepared to finally have his breakout season. And we got some data on the other side, talk about how good and how important he'll be for the Cowboys. Let's pull up the article first, and we'll get into the data. This is courtesy of The Athletic. Sam Williams holds a top spot here talking about breakout candidate for the Cowboys because his size and athletic ability are ideal for being an elite edge rusher. The 2022 second round pick just hasn't been able to put it all together. His breakout season was supposed to be last season, but a season-ending knee injury in training camp put everything on hold. He took part in some individual drills during minicamp if he's healthy. And by the way, there are some recent reports indicating that he will be healthy during training camp. They may take a little precautious mindset with him, of course, but there are no indications that he won't be ready during training camp and won't be ready to play during the regular season. But if he's healthy, he could be the Dallas' second most productive pass rusher behind Micah Parsons. And that element right there, that focus, that running mate to Parsons is absolutely critical because obviously Tank Lawrence, DeMarcus Lawrence, he is no longer with the Cowboys. He had injury shortened season in 2024. He was a key part. He was the number 2 to Micah Parsons, number 1 over the Cowboys 2022 and 2023 defensive pass rush, really successful seasons. But when you look at Sam Williams' analytics, his PFF grades in terms of pass rush, and compare them to Tank Lawrence over those 2 seasons, 2022 and 2023, they look nearly identical. Let's pull up the chart here to highlight what I'm talking about. You can see on the left side of the screen there, we're talking pass rush grade, DeMarcus Lawrence, Tank Lawrence there, 2022 and 2023 seasons, averaging them together in those same 2 seasons, Sam Williams. And you can see Lawrence a little bit better, but both of these guys right around the mid-70s in terms of pass rush grade, opposite of Micah Parsons both seasons during those 2 years with the Dallas Cowboys. And this is exactly what the Cowboys are looking for. I think at this point, no one views Dante Fowler as the guy to be the running mate across Micah Parsons every single down. He's got a key piece that can do some things here and there. He's not the long-term answer. He's not the every snap answer. Obviously, we got the young second-round pick Donovan. He's doing a lot of really good things. I think he's got a great potential for the Dallas Cowboys. But again, he's a rookie. You don't want to throw everything on him. Questions start with Marshawn Kneeland. I think he's a better run defender than he is pass rusher. Oso Odigizua, obviously inside on the defensive tackle. So who is going to be the edge rusher, the elite pairing opposite of Micah Parsons, the running mate to number 11? Folks, it's going to be Sam Williams. He is the breakout star. Everyone's going to be sliding on Parsons. Everyone's going to be focusing on Oso Odigizua. I expect Sam Williams, if he can be healthy, which all reports indicate that he will be, to emerge as a star edge rusher, a star pass rusher opposite of Parsons. He will replace DeMarcus Lawrence in that role starting this season. I think it's pretty clear, at least for this season. Again, we'll have to see what the future holds with some of these young guys, and maybe they just become just an arsenal of pass rushers, and we can see this multi-year vision come into place for the Dallas Cowboys. But of all the moves the Cowboys have made, and they made a lot of really good ones, a lot of great additions across this Cowboys defensive line and edge rushers this entire offseason, I think the reemergence of Sam Williams may have the biggest impact of them all because, folks, he was flashing elite level talent at times with limited opportunities over the course of 2022 and 2023. I expect him to do great things in 2025, healthy, rested, and ready to have a breakout campaign for this Cowboys defense. All right, Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are on all of this. But first, Cowboys fans, in the comment section below, we're talking breakout stars. We're talking about guys who are ready to emerge and be key contributors to this Cowboys team. So let me ask you this. Who is your prediction to be kind of the forgotten breakout star on this Cowboys roster right now? Maybe it's Sam Williams. Maybe it's guiding that tackle. Maybe it's Hunter Lipke. Maybe you're a Deuce Vaughn guy. I don't know. Give us your breakout star for this Cowboys team, offense, defense, special teams, guy that maybe no one's talking about, a guy that you think is going to have a big impact. Put that guy in the comment section below. But Mize, over to you now. What are your thoughts on this latest news out of Dallas?
Yeah, Nick, you hit on something there. Just two words, but it really is something that is big to me when I look at Sam Williams. And you say limited opportunities. And I think when you look what he's done with those opportunities, that's what's really impressive here. You look at DeMarcus Lawrence, who has been a great player. He's had a lot of great seasons. He does a lot of really good stuff. But in 2022 and 2023, he had just under 900 pass rushing snaps in those two seasons combined. He had 11 sacks in those two seasons combined as well. We look at the same two seasons for Sam Williams. He had 384, so let's do the math, roughly 600 less pass rushing snaps. He had 9 sacks, 2 less sacks than DeMarcus Lawrence, in 600 less pass rushing snaps. So when Sam Williams was given those limited opportunities, he really did excel. This was a guy that was doing a lot of good stuff in the pass rush game with very limited opportunities. Never got more than 200, or he never broke 190 snaps in 1 year when it came to the pass rush game. This guy doing a lot of great stuff in very limited snaps. So I'm excited to see come back. You said this is a guy perfectly set up for a breakout. When you look at his numbers, it's unfortunate he didn't get to play in 2024. I'm glad he's trending towards 2025, because I think we're going to see a big season. And we've seen guys do it before. Some people might be like, well, is he going to come back from injury and do well? It happens all the time. You look at a guy like David Ojabo for the Ravens. He had a horrific injury in college. He missed pretty much all of his first year, re-injuring himself, then comes back in his second year and does a lot of good stuff, shows a really promising season. So I think we're at that point where Sam Williams coming back, is at a whole season of rehab, able to get himself back on track. And I think we're going to see a big year from him, because when you look at the numbers, you look at what he was able to do in the limited opportunities he was given, I think this guy starts to get, more DeMarcus Lawrence numbers. He's getting 400, 450 pass rush snaps in a season. We're going to see some big numbers. We're seeing double-digit sacks minimum out of a guy like Sam Williams. I think he's going to be a great compliment to Micah Parsons, and I think this Cowboys pass rush is going to look much better than people thought it could this season.